Welcome back. Today, we are opening up your personal strategic playbook. We're tackling a massive question that's been hanging over homeowners since 2022. Just how much money are you actually leaving on the table when it comes to home energy efficiency upgrades? The answer is, frankly, a lot. But I'm incredibly excited to guide you through this explainer, because today, we stop missing out. We are going to map out exactly how you can stop leaving thousands of dollars behind and start absolutely maximizing your upgrade budget for 2026. Okay, let's dive into this, because right here is the exact moment where so many people just stall out. A homeowner looks at the sticker price for, say, a full window replacement or a high-end new heat pump. They see a terrifying estimate of $15,000, and boom, they instantly hit the brakes. What they completely fail to calculate is that the actual net cost, the true bottom line after all those incentives are applied, might actually be closer to $10,000. The money you get back isn't just some nice little bonus check. It's a core fundamental part of how you afford the project in the first place. Section 1. The money left behind. Look, since the Inflation Reduction Act passed back in 2022, literally billions of dollars have been in play. But most people only know about half the rules. Because of that, they're completely missing out on increasing our total savings by 25, sometimes even 50%. To fix that, we first need to clear up the fundamental difference between the two main types of incentives out there, just so there's absolutely zero confusion. First, you've got a tax credit. A tax credit reduces your federal income tax liability dollar for dollar. So if you owe $5,000 to the IRS, but you have a $2,000 credit, well, now you only owe $3,000. You claim that right on IRS Form 5695. A rebate, on the other hand, is a direct payment. We're talking a physical check or a prepaid card sent directly into your hands right after you buy and install the equipment. It has absolutely nothing to do with what you owe in taxes. Moving to Section 2, Federal Credits, the Foundation. These federal incentives, specifically from the energy-efficient Home Improvement Credit, form the absolute bedrock of our playbook, basically covering 30% of your overall project costs. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how these specific annual caps break down across different upgrades. Heat pumps and heat pump water heaters, those are capped at a $2,000 credit. Updating your insulation and air sealing, capped at $1,200. Windows, skylights, and upgrading your electrical panel sit at a $600 cap. But check out that bottom line. Rooftop solar and battery storage, that gives you your 30% coverage with absolutely no dollar cap whatsoever. For a huge project, that's massive. But for those smaller, non-solar upgrades we just talked about, there's a magic number you have to remember: $3,200. You can mix and match those smaller federal credits, like insulation, windows, and panels, up to a maximum combined annual limit of $3,200. And just to reiterate, that strict limit does not include your uncapped solar credit. Section 3, the stacking strategy. This is the climax of our playbook, folks. The secret weapon of layering state, local, and manufacturer rebates right on top of that federal money to drastically slash your costs. Let's look at how this plays out in the real world here in 2026. Take a homeowner in Scottsdale, Arizona. They install a brand new heat pump. First thing they do, they secure that $2,000 federal tax credit. Easy. But they didn't stop there. They went and stacked a $1,000 rebate directly from their local utility provider, the Salt River Project, right on top of it. Just by stacking, they instantly knocked $3,000 off the total base cost of the project. Here's another quick example. A family living in suburban Atlanta, Georgia, decided to tackle an insulation project to finally get a handle on those notoriously high, heavy humidity loads down there. They grabbed the $1,200 federal insulation credit, and they cleverly stacked it with a $500 rebate straight from Georgia Power. By doing a tiny bit of homework to find that local utility money, they seriously boosted their savings. Section 4, avoiding costly mistakes. So, the crucial point is, the absolute biggest, most expensive mistake you can make as a homeowner is stopping at that 30% federal tax credit and completely ignoring the local utility and city money that's out there waiting for you. The main reason people leave this money behind is just that local information is so scattered. You really have to become your own advocate here. So, before you sign anything, here are the 3 exact places you must check. First, your state's Department of Energy website. Second, your specific electric or gas utilities website. Just search their site for rebates. And third, you want to hit the DSIRE National Database. That's DSIRE. It's literally the most comprehensive database in the country for sniffing out these local funds. Section 5, your contractor action plan. We are shifting into role play mode here because you have to drive the conversation with your contractors. Here are the 3 specific non-negotiable questions you need to ask them before you ever sign a proposal. Question number 1. What are the total available incentives for this specific equipment? This matters immensely. You need a completely transparent, full accounting of federal, state, utility, and manufacturer money to calculate what your actual net cost is going to be. When you ask that, a genuinely knowledgeable contractor is going to give you an answer that sounds exactly like this quote. You're eligible for the $2,000 federal credit, a $750 rebate from Con Edison, and a $200 mail-in rebate from the manufacturer. Do you hear how specific that is? A good contractor knows the playbook and shows you every single piece of the puzzle. Question number 2, can you confirm this model number meets the exact performance tier required? Guys, this is a massive trap. Rebates are strictly tied to highly specific efficiency ratings, like a SEER 2 rating for your AC or a U factor for your new windows. If they install the wrong model, you get $0. Nothing. And this brilliantly illustrates what you want to hear back. Yes, this model is on the Energy Star list and meets the CEE Tier 2 requirements for the state rebate. The contractor absolutely must verify that the equipment meets both the federal Energy Star benchmarks and the strict state-level CEE performance tiers. If they can't show you that on the spec sheet, do not sign. Question number 3. Who handles filing the paperwork for these rebates? Let me tell you, dropped paperwork is the silent killer of project budgets. Rebate applications have incredibly strict deadlines. They require specific invoice formats, and they need exact model numbers. If it doesn't get filed right, that money is just gone. A top-tier contractor removes all that pain. They'll tell you something like, we provide a complete packet for IRS Form 5695, and we handle the direct filing for the utility rebate. They prep the federal tax packet so you can literally just hand it to your accountant, and they do the heavy lifting of filing the local utility paperwork directly on your behalf. That is the gold standard. Section 6, the 2026 landscape and beyond. Here is what is changing right now. The great news is that the IRA supply chains have finally stabilized, but state-level programs, they are shifting rapidly. Because of that rapid shift, you absolutely must verify funding. A lot of states launched incredibly aggressive rebate programs back in 2024, and now, here in 2026, we're seeing some of those early funds start to run low. That means revised payout amounts or suddenly tighter rules. So before you drop major cash based on a promised state rebate, always double-check that their specific program still has actual cash in the bank. Let's move to and see how this builds across our timeline here. In 2023, the IRA credits got established. Then in 2024, the building codes pushed the baseline for new construction higher, which created huge demand for better windows and insulation. Now in 2026, those state programs are fully maturing, and looking right around the corner to 2027, the whole focus is shifting toward grid interactivity. The big money will go to rewarding homeowners who install smart thermostats, smart electrical panels, and batteries that can actually help stabilize the power grid during peak hours. Which brings us to our final thought for today's explainer. The single biggest takeaway from this entire playbook is that the largest pot of money in energy efficiency is very often the most local one. Your utility company might literally be your project's biggest investor. So I'll leave you with this. When you start planning your next home upgrade, how much of their money are you going to leave on the table? Go claim your share, do the research, and take total control of your bottom line.